Let's talk about comparisonitis. She's a mean bitch. And if you're an online business owner struggling to get visible because you can't stop comparing yourself to other people on social media, then hit the subscribe button and keep watching. Because in this video, you're gonna learn how to put your comparisonitis behind you. This is something I used to deal with every day in my business, and I'm so excited to share how I was able to ditch my comparisonitis, because I bet you can use these same tools too. When you think about the word comparisonitis, what does it make you think of? For me, to be honest, I've always thought of her as the mean girl in my head. Back in the beginning of my online business days, she was constantly whispering at me, "You're not good enough. You're not as good as the other person that's already doing the same things that you want to be doing. You'll never be as good as that person who has like 10 years ahead of you. You're too far behind, so what's the point?" Sound familiar? I felt like I could never measure up to this invisible ruler that's out there in the business world. I get it, friend. When you're putting big ideas out into the world, when you're finally stepping into your calling and, doing the big things, taking action on those big ideas, the things that you're meant to be doing on this world, it's hard. Like, you can't help but look around at everyone else thinking like, oh my God, can I really do this? Spoiler alert, you can. But don't be surprised when comparison's cousin, self-doubt, pulls up a seat at the mind game table. It's very easy for your thoughts to run wild. I remember my self-doubt so well. I kept asking myself, is someone already doing this? And are they doing it better than me already? It's like when you get a new car, and you've never seen that car on the road before, but then you get that car and now it's everywhere, right? So what do you do when you finally learn what you're meant to be doing, but the stakes then get raised because you start noticing that everyone else is doing the same thing around you? It's only natural that your comparison, your inner mean girl, kicks in. Mine sure did. On a funny side note, I had a mentor that prompted us to name our inner mean girl something funny, silly, something straight up non-threatening. I named mine Regina. So when you notice them in your head, you can put a name to the shame spiral you're headed for and hopefully stop it in its tracks and give yourself a little giggle. Start to take your power back from Regina. Drop me the name of your inner mean girl in the comments below if you're ready to wake up to just how often comparisonitis might be showing up for you. If your inner mean girl is like, hey girl, the market's really saturated, right? Yikes. Or if you're questioning if you're even good enough because you're not as established as the other person. Or maybe you don't have as much visibility, or you don't look like them, or your website is pretty shitty compared to theirs, or do you even have enough experience to call yourself an expert? First of all, get rid of the quotation marks around expert in your brain, right? Your experiences make up your expertise. And if you're the one questioning your own expertise, I bet you're also the person that has certification, education, degrees, and oodles of know-how that make you more than qualified. Here's some ways that you can work on quieting your inner Regina George so that you can focus on stepping into your full authority in this business, in this bigger vision that you have for your life. First, you need to reconnect every day with the thing that you're meant to do. It's important to remind yourself why you're showing up and saying yes to all the uncomfortable things that all of the entrepreneurship asks of us, like getting more visible. Here's my favorite way to remind myself that my dreams aren't too big or aren't too far away from me. Stay with me here. You have to prove to your human brain, aka the mean girl in there that's telling you to compare yourself to everybody else, that you actually are receiving the things that you want. That you're actually right where you need to be. That people do see you as an expert. That you actually are calling in and receiving from the universe. And this big, bold dream that you have for your business is aligned with the person that you're becoming. Because when you're not aware, when you're not paying attention to all these subtle hints and clues that are right in front of you on your path, then you miss them. And that's when comparisonitis starts to get louder. But when you can remind yourself every day and give yourself tangible examples that you're following the right breadcrumbs, my favorite thing to do is to have a section in my journal that's fully dedicated to the things or the opportunities that I want to attract or manifest. It's an entire section that I've fully dedicated to the things that I'm proving that are meant for me, that are actually coming true. And that's when comparisonitis begins to melt away. You're calming your nervous system with real life examples, with proof that you are enough. that you are worthy of what you want right now. And here's how it looks over time. Every day, I have something fantastic, I would even say magical, happen. I'll add it to this section of my journal, and then I'll go back and read them on days where I feel like I'm a little nervous to put something new out into the world, or feel a hint of that self-doubt creeping in and start to question timelines or whatever else. So I want to give you 2 journal prompts to help you ditch comparisonitis and to start turning down the volume dial on that mean girl in your head. So journal prompt number 1, this is so simple and so powerful. I want you to fill an entire journal page with I am worthy of statements. I didn't realize how much of my desires I was limiting because I was comparing the beginning of my journey to someone else's ending. You are worthy of everything that you want. It's time to give yourself the space to start dreaming it all up and believing that it's actually possible for you. So journal prompt number 2, write a letter to your inner mean girl. Thank her for keeping you safe. Tell her why you're ready to start doing life and business without her constantly whispering in your ear. Share your big dreams with her. Tell her why you are enough to receive them. And then rip that letter right out of your journal and burn it. Set those old stories of fear, self-doubt, and comparisonitis on fire, and then flush the ashes away or bury them in the ground. I promise. The physical act of writing and burning and burying is not only cathartic, but this reclamation begins to alchemize the residue left behind from all the years of comparison. And you really begin to recognize Regina for who she really is. She's a mirror to our fears, and it's just trying to keep us safe from failure, which is a whole other topic for another day. If you use either of these prompts or designate a section to your journal for magical manifestations and decide to share your journey with your community on the gram, I'd be so over the moon if you tag me so I can pop into your corner of the internet and cheer you on. If you like this video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe for more content on blending the woo and the work of online business, personal development, branding, sustainably scaling, magnetic marketing, and visibility. Catch you on the next video, my friend.